Look, don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. Now, today we're going to talk about something very powerful, very foundational, and something that's not only going to shape your child's future, but their faith, their identity, and their relationship with God. Today's topic is going to be the importance of a mother and a father in a child's life, with God at the center. Now, before we start the message, let me say this up front. This is not about perfection. This is about God's design, influence, and alignment with God's purpose. Because whether people want to admit it or not, family was God's first institution. Meaning before government, before business, before school, there was family. And guess what? When family is built right, everything else just flows better. So let's first start with God's original design. So let's start at the beginning. In Genesis, God created man and woman, not randomly, but with intention. First, he created the man with leadership, vision, and covering, and then he created the woman with nurturing, wisdom, and strength to give life. Then he says, be fruitful and multiply. Now, that wasn't just about having kids, that was about raising a legacy. You see, a child is not just born, it's formed, and a formation requires three things, and that's structure, nurture, and foundation. A father gives the structure, the mother gives the nurture, and God is the foundation. Taking any one of those out, and then something becomes unstable. Now, let's talk about the role of the father. Now, a father was designed to represent the identity, direction, discipline, and protection. Meaning, the father teaches the child, this is who you are, this is what you stand for, and this is where you're going. In Proverbs, it talks about a father instructing his son. Why? Because the father is the one who gives the vision and the boundaries. You see, without a father presence, many children struggle with one of three things, if not three things. And that's identity confusion, lack of discipline, and seeking validation in all the wrong places. You see, a present father doesn't just provide money. He provides correction without rejecting a child. He provides strength without being harsh to the child, and guidance without controlling the child. And when a father is submitted to God, he is reflecting God the Father himself. All right, now let's talk about the role of the mother. Now, a mother was designed to represent nurturing, emotional intelligence, comfort, and compassion. In Proverbs 31, we see the description of a virtuous woman. She builds, she strengthens, and she supports. Meaning a mother teaches you are loved, you do matter, and you are safe. You see, where a father teaches identity, a mother reinforces worth. You see, without the presence of a mother, many children are going to struggle with emotional instability, lack of affection, and insecurity. Why? Because a godly mother doesn't just care. She's the one who cultivates the heart. Now, let's talk about why God must be the center. Now, here's the thing. You can have a mother and father involved, but if God is not the center, the foundation is still not complete. And I say that because if you look at Ecclesiastes 4 verse 12, it says, a cord of three strands cannot easily be broken. Now that cord represents the mother, the father, and God. You see, God is what brings the unity, the wisdom, and the purpose in the relationship. Without God as the foundation, discipline becomes control, love becomes conditional, and leadership becomes ego. But with God becoming the foundation, love becomes unconditional, discipline becomes direction, and leadership becomes servanthood. You see, what God does, he aligns the parent so the child doesn't grow up confused. So now I want to talk about what happens when one of those is missing. Let's be real for a moment. We live in a world where some kids grew up without their father, some without their mother, some without both. And trust me, the effects are real. But here's the truth. God's grace can fill any gap. And I say that because in Psalm 68:5, it states clearly, God is called the father of the fatherless. That means God can restore your identity, he can heal your wounds, and provide what was missing. But what you have to do is acknowledge that God's original plan was still made for both. Not to condemn anyone, but to show what we should strive to build going forward. Now I want to talk about when you do this, how it shapes the child. When the child has a godly father and a godly mother and a godly centered home, they're going to grow up with confidence, spiritual awareness, a strong identity, And emotional stability, you see, they don't have to search for love in the streets or look for identity online because they found it right there in the home. Well, how do we apply this in real life to get more peace in the home? Well, number one, you put God first in your home. And when I say that, that means you pray together, you read the word together, and you let the child see God by example, not just hear about him. Number two, fathers, you have to be present, not just providers. I promise you, your presence means way more to a child than a paycheck. Number three, mothers, nurture with wisdom, not fear. I need you to speak life and build confidence in your child. Number four, make sure there is unity between both parents because a divided household is only going to confuse the child. And number five, you have to lead by example. You see, children don't just do what you say, they actually do what you live. Let me leave you with this. A child raised by a mother, a father, and a God-centered home is a child that's equipped to face this crazy world out here. Not perfectly, but powerfully. Why? Because they have identity from their father, love from their mother, and purpose from God. And if you didn't grow up with that, this is your opportunity right now to break that cycle. Because now you can become what you didn't have. You can build what you didn't see. And you can make a new legacy with God at the center of it. So right now, I want to personally thank Irvin McKenzie Freeman, Charles Archie Hester, and Pamela Jean Bowman for giving me identity, life, and love the best way you guys knew how. Now, if this message spoke to you, please share it with someone and drop a comment saying, I am building a God-centered family today. As always, I hope this message helped at least one person. I will be back at you again tomorrow with another one. Until then, I need you to keep your head on a swivel, love yourself, and only help who wants to be helped. I love y'all. I'm out.